Hi, Philip. Can you just start very quickly, and I'll be in a minute. Just start the show.
Good evening, folks. Slight technical hitch here. Hi, welcome to THFC Till I Die, the home of Spurs, past, present, and the future's getting very close now. 2 weeks tomorrow, and we're off again against Brentford. Joining me tonight will be DERMOTRON in a minute whenever he comes back in, but also joining me is the lovely Mia from Spurs Between the Lines, who's come on to give us her view on all things Tottenham. How are you tonight, Mia?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you.
Good. There's been a few things happening today, and not necessarily all about Harry Kane, but obviously Harry Kane is the main topic of conversation till we see what actually happens to him after this alleged meeting again with Bayern Munich officials on Monday, which was put back from yesterday for some reason, but nobody seems to know why. And maybe after that, Dermot has some slides here that will show what we feel might be the outcome of that particular meeting. It appears that the big talking point the other day that Manchester United were about to put in a big bid for Harry Kane, that appears to be not the case. Now, again, things can change, but at the moment, they seem to be closing in on this young Højlund fellow from Atalanta, who's reckoned to be a bit like Erling Haaland in physique and the way he plays. He's not quite the finished article yet, but we could have a Højlund and a Haaland in the Premiership next season. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Anyway, before we go on anymore, let's have a look and see who we've got in the chat so far. And let me see. Adrian Troca is in. Good evening, Adrian. Adrian saying good evening all. And again, 14 days until the season and still no centre-backs. Yeah, but I'm sure they're working on it. I'm sure they're not sitting still. And Dragon D's Nuts is saying, don't worry, the Longley deal is nearly done. Yeah, that'll be. I'd like to see the link to the comment on that if it ever happens, you know.
Sorry about that, guys. Hello. Slight tech issue, but it's all sorted. It's all sorted out now.
Who's in the chat here? I'm just going down to who's in the chat before we get on to the.
All right, yeah. So. Do you want to continue doing that, Philip?
Yeah, I'll keep it. There's not many more to do, yeah. Adrian Stroke is saying, what if Levy agrees to deal to sell Kane to buy him for 100 million and Kane decides to stay? Happy days. Because if he stays, he has to sign a new contract.
Yeah. Do you know what, Philip? Devil said that same question for me before I came on. She asked me exactly the same question.
Yeah,
but
you know,
it's unlikely because he already seems like he wants to go. So if we accept the deal, it's already kind of a thing where if we accept a deal, he's not going to do what Mbappe said and say no. It looks like that he probably would say yes.
Yeah. Well, Mia, to that right, actually, Mia. Real Madrid have come in for Kylian Mbappe now. They've actually put in a bid for him now as well. So that's smoking. Now, who's this fella, Philip? He comes in every show.
I don't know. He's bloody annoying. He comes in every night with these stupid comments. I don't know who he is. We'll have to ban him. Definitely.
No, good evening all and welcome to the latest podcast. I mean, THFC to Lotto. Who wants to know? Seriously.
Bog off. He needs to bog off, I tell you.
He's even on Twitch.
He's at it again. He's two of them in now. Good God. Yeah.
Well, we are being broadcast live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. So you can watch us on 3 platforms.
And we'll be on CNN and Fox News and NBC shortly.
Sky News for you, Philip.
Sky News, yeah.
We'll have Mia on CNN as she's interviewing Donald Trump and telling him he's a wally.
I'll be telling him that.
I saw the best one tonight, just a few minutes ago for Come On. Donald Trump appeared at a rally in Iowa last night, right? And the song that they played on his way onto the stage contained the lyrics, "One could end up going to prison." That's not a word of a lie. That was they reckon someone did it as a send-up, but I've seen the video. It actually happened. Anyway, keep going. Dragon D's Nuts saying big up Adrian Stroker. Yeah. And Adrian's also saying happy birthday to Harry Kane yesterday, I believe. Yeah. One thing I noticed though, did you notice the birthday cake he got?
No.
There was no Spurs emblems on it at all, which I find a bit strange. Yeah, I thought that was a bit strange.
Big up to Mark New. Big up Ellie.
She there?
You've got to hide in somewhere.
Is she behind you, Mia?
No, she's not behind me.
I don't know. Anyway, look, it says big up Ellie. If Daniel Levy can sign Hubsober and VDV, Harry can be persuaded to stay. We've got the latest on that as well, actually, in a minute. Who else we've got? I think that's everyone in. We've got Angelo Philip. Angelo, I like that countdown in the beginning of the show. I get the fiddle with my didgeridoo.
I mean, that could be taken two different ways, but yeah.
I've just taken it that way, Mia.
Oh, is that what she said?
No, I'm taking it. He's from Australia and he's playing a musical instrument.
I tell you, if you can do that tune with your didgeridoo, do it. You've got our email addresses on the channel. Send it to us, and we'll use it as we used it somewhere along the line. But if you can do that, get your fiddle with your didgeridoo, then that'd be brilliant. We've got Strip Bear. Now look at that teddy bear doing it. Yeah, he's doing a little bit of a striptease there. That little bear, Mia. And is that Romero? Do you know when he's sort of outfit for you?
No, it's the other way around. I'll do the stripping for him.
She's back.
She's back. Mia knows why we're saying that. Big up. She says, "Hello, boys and a girl."
I'm a bit offended by that. I get called boys. Like,
no, well, hello, boys.
Well, you see the cat. Yeah, well, okay. Maybe he typed it before your voice was heard. You know, so
yeah. Mia is a female. Mia is a female. Believe it or not, she really is, and a very good person as well. Heart gold.
Absolutely.
Chat and mods. We've got Greg Sennett, Daily Mirror reporting Liverpool, your favourite club, Philip. Looking at a year-long loan from Mabapai. The Mabapai to Madrid next year could mean PSG put a ludicrous Kane offer, making it interesting for buying. We're going to go through that.
Yeah.
Tyler, big up Tyler. Hey Dermot, me and Philip. Hope you're well. Big up. We've got Daniel Zito as well. Good evening, panel. We've got Tin Legs Tony.
Great name, that.
That is a great name, actually. I like that one. You sure that's not Tony Adams? Well, mind you, that would be Wobbly Legs Tony.
No, he's hollow legs. He's hollow legs. He's hollow legs. Put the drinking put away.
My Magpie on loan is not happening. No, it's not. No. We've got Angelo. I'm Greek Australian and I will succeed. Question mark. Ange. Of course he
will succeed. Ange will succeed.
Of course he will. Yeah, I've noticed the cake too. That was pretty telling. And that And Strip Bear saying sorry to you, Mia.
No worries.
Carl Simpson, he's back. I actually asked Carl to come on tonight as well with us with us. And he couldn't come in. So next week, Carl, you're coming on. But anyway, for you, this is just for you, Carl. Welcome to the Cockeral Cock podcast. That's just for you, Carl. There you go. I've deliberately messed that up. Good evening, Dermot, Philip, and Mia. Who we know likes to be, we know.
Will most be some stripping. Dermot, I've got a thing. Here's a challenge for you for next week. Right.
I don't like where this is going.
I know. I'll bring it back to normality now for a while. I am, as you know, I'm going to the Shakhtar Donetsk game on Sunday, right? And as such, I have to leave the house at 2:00 in the morning to get my flight. So I won't be on next Saturday night. Carl Simpson, you are my replacement.
There you go.
Done and dusted.
Philip, are you going to do a travel blog going over to that Shakhtar game for the channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I am, yeah.
Love Philip. And Mia, listen, I was saying to Philip before we get going with the podcast, before the end of the season, all of us are all going to meet up in one place, the four of us, and we'll do a show, the four of us from a pub.
Yeah, sounds good.
Now, that is what we will do, one show. So we'll be all together on one. Because I don't think we've ever done a show. You know, me and Philip, of course, live in Ireland. But we've been to games together. Do you know, we've done stuff together, Philip. Me and Ellie have done stuff together. We haven't done anything with you, Mia. So, look, once we come over and we'll organise it and we're all together in the one studio and we'll do something, the four of us together live. So that will be a good show. I would love to do that, actually, to be fair. If you come over to Ireland, me and Philip will meet up with you in Dublin and we'll do it from Darky Kelly's and throw popcorn at Philip while he's playing the drums. That's what we're actually... I was speaking to Dave about that coming up to you, and I always say to Dave, can we not go up to Darky Kelly's on the Tuesday and just chuck popcorn at Philip while he's playing the drums? Just for the crack.
You know what? He's going to get upset because he's used to having women chucking their underwear at him doing his Tom Jones impression.
I might
wish.
tell Dave to go in. I might tell Dave to go into what do you call it? What's the cheap shop, big shops in Ireland, Philip?
Deals or pounds, the pound shops.
Yeah, with deals, something like get a bag of because I'm joking them at you.
The thing is, don't chuck nuts. Don't chuck your nuts.
No, they hurt. They hurt.
Yeah. Listen, we try to have fun in this show. We really do. We've got Tyler May. I didn't see two centre backs at the top. Adrian, they're coming. Don't worry.
They're coming.
Evening. All he says, sorry. I was like, don't apologise. You're here now. That's the main thing.
Because he's got tiny legs. It took him longer to get here.
I told you she's back. You give her 5 minutes and Mia's back. We've got Niall Kane. Evening, lads. Big up, Niall. How you doing, sir? We've got Jazz Jones. Is this your brother, Philip? Well, you're Tom Jones. Is it your brother, Jazz Jones?
No, it's my third cousin, twice removed. Lives on the moon.
Big up. Good up, Jazz Jones. He says, good evening, peeps. Big up. Just listen on my way home. Looking forward to next week. Big up, Carl. Can't wait to have you on for the podcast. Yeah. That should be fun. Mayhem. Joseph Monaghan. Big up, Joseph. Hope you're doing. Says Coys. I hate transfer window. Too much fake news and BS. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I know.
Mr. Brady next to me. You want to hear him moan and go on about it. Oh, God, it's like he's complaining about the equipment not being right or they're not having his basis for his Tom Jones band is not right. You want to hear him. Then he'd say Spurs and transfer windows, glowing. So there you go.
Oh, I can't even think of an answer to that one yet. Go on, carry on. Keep going.
Strip Bear, kind of fun also. Yeah, it is. Kind of. We've got Meta Football TV. Evening, lads. Hi to Mia. 100% with a big thumbs up, Mia. We've got the disabled team. Hi, Dermot, Philip, and Mia. Hope you are well. Yeah, we're grand. We're really grand. And who else is coming? Yeah, and then we've got Wembley one. Evening, boys, and Mia. Just back from taking my mum out for dinner for her 90th birthday. Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. She's great Wembley age to make it. Great age.
We laughed about the only time I took her to the lane. We lost 2-1 to Southampton, and I said she was never going again.
You bother.
But happy birthday, Wembley one to your mum. And I hope 90 years old. That's a good. That's great. I wish I could get to 90. Me and Philip we'll still be doing YouTube when I'm 90.
God help us. I don't believe in God.
There's a few great comments coming up here tonight. There really is.
It's going to be fun. We've got Anja. If Ange gets Spurs into top 4 with this defence, club must buy him a gold Rolls Royce.
No, I'd probably buy him a gold Trabant. Remember those cars that used to drive around East Berlin during the gold days? A Trabi. You'll buy him one of them. They're cheap. This is the one. This is the one.
Yeah, heavily pregnant Kate Kane was seen stepping off the plane in Saudi Arabia with Elvis.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
And do you know what?
Elvis is very big out in the Middle East, all right.
Yeah. Do you know what, Philip? Kate was left all shook up.
Yeah, and what's the other song? She's left with a suspicious mind as well as what her husband was doing.
Tom Jones is my great uncle.
Oh.
Now, I hope this is true. I hope you're not cutting this on. Tom Jones is my great. Don't mention Delilah to him.
Delilah. Oh, come on.
I love it. I love our people in the chat. Well, that's everyone. Big up to everyone. Listen. There's 43 of you watching. We've got 16 likes. Get them likes up. Now, I'm running a poll. Mia knows I love my polls, so to speak. I'm running a poll in the chat. And it is, will Harry Kane still be at Spurs by the end of next week? And there's 4 options. Yes, he will. No, he'd be off. Ange's locked him in his office. He'll never leave Spurs. So at the moment, 43% say yes, he will. It's 48% now and saying no, he'd be off. Now it's now 47% each for the top 2. 6% of you are thinking that Andrew will lock him in his office.
And what's the fourth one? Everyone dying
He'll
aboard and
never
listening to
leave
Harry
Spurs.
Kane.
And that's got nothing.
Yeah.
So there you go. Hang on, here's another one. Heavily pregnant Kane was seen eating a bratwurst hot dog while skateboarding through Munich City in the PSG shirt.
Oh, very good. That's good. That's very good.
Jazz is bullshitting news, surely. Yeah, I think he is, mate. TV. And then we've got the Australian Gooner. And you've made the wrong choice.
No,
Look,
you're
you're only jealous that you've got a Lego man as a manager. We've got a decent man as our manager. And by the end of next season, Lego man will be crying into his cup of cocoa with Pep putting his arm around him saying, now, there, all will be okay. The job centre's just down the road. So, but thank you for coming into a Spurs channel. And please like, subscribe, and get yourself a membership. All football fans are welcome here, except a few
even
of them.
Arsenal ones.
Yeah, even Arsenal ones. But Australian Gooner, big up. Carl's saying it's lucky Tom Jones doesn't get royalty every time his name is mentioned. He would be even more loaded.
That's true.
Angela says, my ex-missus used to be able to jump a major obstacles at 8 months pregnant. One obstacle was me. I can see where this show's going very quickly, Philip.
Yes, I think we'll get it back up. As somebody said, let's restore the decorum.
Right. Heavily pregnant Kane was seen helping Mbappe's wife house hunting in North 17. God, she's been Saudi Arabia. She's busy.
Munich and North 17 in the space of half an hour. That's been travelling by.
What do you reckon, Mia? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, what she's on, but I want whatever she's got. I want, because obviously she can get around places really quick. I can fly to the Bahamas and back. You know what I mean? Like by the morning, go there, be there for a little bit, come back again.
Yeah. Anyway, we've got John Niels. It's all about legacy for 100%. I think so, isn't it? I really do. And then we've got Chris O'Sullivan. Big up, Chris. Haven't seen you before. Welcome to the channel. Hit the like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Why have we not got our centre backs? Either players don't want to come, or our club's messing us about with the price.
The latter one mostly.
Yeah, we are going to give the latest. But Philip, we have some breaking. Well, would you call it breaking news? But we would. But this news is going to come out now. Philip's treating it with so much a piece of salt that if he could put it on his dinner. I'm sort of saying unconfirmed reports. And Mia just saying, it's Harry Kane, I don't care. Just give me the money. But this is it. Harry Kane news. Coming out of the Spurs camp, this was given to me about an hour ago. Kane saga may be over by the end of Friday next week. Bayern hope to in the meeting, discuss the price, agree a deal, and get the signing done before they return back. I'll start with Mia first, Philip, if that's okay, before I go to you. Mia, what do you think to this bit of breaking news?
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually read, I'm sure it was the Times, said that despite reports of the meeting being cancelled, it wasn't actually cancelled. There was still some sort of meeting that took place of sorts. So it could be well true that there have been discussions. And I think it'd be done before Friday. I think they're going to get it done ASAP, I think. And I think that we will not see him in a Tottenham shirt again. Or what they might do is they might delay it and say you can keep him for the Shakhtar game and play him maybe for the last bit because we don't want him injured, because obviously that's the risk, isn't it, if he plays another game, just to say his goodbyes. Come on for like a little bit at the end just to say his goodbyes. Because I think it'd be done before then, personally.
Philip, look, we hear news every day about Harry Kane. He's either going to Bayern Munich, he's going to PSG, he's been seen in Lapland talking to Santa, he's been seen with Elvis walking down Memphis, Tennessee. He's even been seen with Nelson Mandela and the Queen. But he's still at Tottenham. So, what do you think he'll still be here next week?
Well, I think, as you probably, if you listen to me for the last couple of weeks, I've been of the opinion that he will go to Bayern Munich, and I'm still of that opinion. Regarding whether it happens this week, I think Mia's got a very good point. I think it would be, if Harry Kane signs for Bayern Munich before next Saturday, an awful lot of Spurs fans are going to be saying, me included, why didn't you leave it until after? Let him come on the pitch, even if he doesn't play in the match, to come on the pitch and say goodbyes to Spurs fans. He hasn't had that opportunity. The last game Harry played for Spurs was the home defeat to Brentford, and he does not want to go out on a memory like that. He needs to have a full Tottenham Hotspur Stadium applauding him for what he's done before he leaves, and I hope that's what happens. Whether it does or not, sorry, Mia.
Yeah, do you think that that's why they've maybe delayed him selling him, because they know that they want him to have a home game before he does say goodbye? Because if we would have done it earlier, he wouldn't have got that.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they that sentimental? To be honest with you, I don't
Maybe.
think the Spurs PR people read the room very well. I mean, they could gain. They could gain a lot of PR points if they did what we just talked about by letting Harry. He doesn't have to play in the match. Just let him come on at half time and speak to the crowd over the microphone and say goodbyes. Other than that, we're not going to get the chance to say goodbye. It's like going to a funeral where there's no body. If you know what I'm talking about, there'll be unfinished business until he actually says goodbye to the Spurs fans, and that's what I'm hoping will happen. And I do think he'd be a Bayern Munich player though before the start of the season, unfortunately.
Yeah, look, for me, I think I agree with you, Philip. To be fair, big up, Carly says Tossin is on his way now. Monaco have signed a defender from Southampton. Tossin's on his way to there. Look, I agree with you, Philip. I think they have to give him his home game to send them off. But the longer this goes on, Philip, the more I think it won't happen. Do you know that? They've been...
I hope you're right, Dermot. I hope you're right.
Yeah, the Man United news. Look, nobody on this panel or nobody in the chat or nobody anywhere will want Harry Kane to leave Spurs. But look, the longer this is going on, Philip, it just carries on and on and on. But are the centre-backs linked to Harry Kane going? And is this where the problem's lying? Do you know what I mean? Are we waiting for the Kane money? Has that already been spent? As soon as Kane goes, 2 players come in.
Well, I hope it's going to be spent. I remember I had a theory last night that if we're looking at Tapsoba and Van der Ven at the minute, right? I think that if we get the Harry Kane money, ring fences coming in, I think we should be looking higher up the scale than that.
Yeah.
The likes of Laporte at Manchester City and other players like that who've got Premier League experience. And see, those 2 lads are great, but they haven't played in the Premiership before. You know, and that worries me a little bit. Whereas if we get somebody in, like Tossin would have been good. He played in the Premiership, but now he's gone to Monaco. Why he wants to go to a Farmers League like that, I just do not know. Some players have no ambition. But
Mia, Philip makes a very good point here. You have no player you bring in from Europe is Premier League proven. And the Premier League and the English football is a very different league to say, the European leagues. Do you know, every buy we get from Europe, are we just sort of plunging in the dark sort of thing? We're hoping that they're going to perform.
Yeah, of course, but I suppose that it's always a risk. When we got Toby and Jan, was that not the same? We didn't know because they were unknown and young and from another country. So I would say that it's probably always a slight risk, but if we've done our scouting correctly, then that shouldn't obviously be a problem.
Yeah, Philip, I see you shaking your head. I just want to welcome a few people in before I let you have your shout. Big up to Spurs for life. Big up to Simon Cohen as well. Big up to Terry White, who's in. And who else? That's so big up to you. Please, if you do, hit the like button, hit the subscription button, or subscription. Pick up your memberships as well if you can. Yeah, pick up your memberships, $2.99, $4.99, cheaper than Netflix, all the other streaming platforms around. If you do want to get something, just download MovieBox Pro. It's free. Get yourself a bit of a you can stream it to your telly and then buy a membership here. There you go. Philip, what do you say to this? No, that's not. Where is it, Philip? Can you see it? Oh, here we go.
The Newcastle
Newcastle fan
Right.
channels are gone in for Spurs. They're saying Spurs ain't a big club and doesn't belong to the big six category.
That is
What
rich
a
coming
load
from a
of
club.
cobblers.
That's rich coming from a club whose last trophy was in 1969, 54 years ago, right? They got the dirty money from Saudi Arabia. They finished above us for the first time in 25 years, and suddenly they're a bigger club than us. Cop yourself on, lads. Please do.
Mia, do you want to add anything to that?
I just think that being in the top four once in however many years doesn't make you a top six club. Not yet.
No.
Right, that's not how it works. So
I love Newcastle fans. I think they're great. They've suffered so much under Mike Ashley, but to come out with stuff like that's like someone who was earning 20 quid a week and then suddenly won the lottery. Just because you've won the lottery doesn't make you better than you were 10 minutes ago. You know, so I mean, Spurs are a bigger club than Newcastle, no problem, and we will show that on the pitch, despite all the money that they have now.
Yeah. So look, and Dragon D Nuts is saying if Kane is sold, he can't play against Shakhtar. He will need to prepare the team for the season. If Kane plays, it would be another wasted friendly.
Well, I wasn't saying he should play; just make an appearance. Just make an appearance. You know.
And big up to Ed M as well. So Newcastle have always been a yo-yo club. Relegated, promoted, relegated, promoted.
Yeah, that's it.
Just a bit of thing. Now, me and Philip were talking earlier, Mia, and it was Philip mentioned it last night, and we decided to do a little bit of digging on this. Now, Juventus and Chelsea had been charged by UEFA for
They've been
FFP.
found guilty by UEFA. Actually, they've been found guilty.
Been found guilty.
Charged.
For breaching FFP rules. Now, during the 22-23 season, the CFCB First Chamber, chaired by Sonel Gulati, opened investigations into Juventus Italian, Chelsea FC England for potential breaches of the UEFA club license and financial fair play relegation. Yeah, thanks, Philip. The CFCB First Chamber concluded that Juventus Italian violated UEFA's do you want to read this out, Philip? Sorry.
Yeah, the UEFA's regulatory framework and breached the settlement agreement signed in August 22. As a result, the CFCB First Chamber terminated the settlement agreement and concluded with the club and decided, A, to exclude Juventus from the 23-24 conference, and to impose an additional financial contribution of 20 million on the club, 20 million euros. Of this amount, 10 million euros is conditional and will only be enforced if the club's annual statements for the financial years 23, 24 and 25 do not comply with the accounting requirements as defined in Annex G of the UEFA club licensing and financial sustainability regulations. In other words, it must be gas to be a Juventus fan. They were found guilty last season. Then they had it restored, right? Then they had the points deducted, and now they've been found guilty again of this and fined 10 million quid immediately and kicked out of Europe. Very, very unfortunate. As opposed to Chelsea, who would appear to have been treated with kid gloves on this one. In so much as that when Todd Bowley took over, he reported his own club to UEFA for financial irregularities in the 8 years since 2013 to 21, I think, under Roman Abramovich. And they've been fined 8.5 million quid, but it's been kept very quiet.
Yeah,
so, it appears to be Chelsea. The Juventus have got the wrong end of the stick on this one, the rough end of the stick on this one.
Yeah. I mean, Mia, look, where's that question now, Philip? I had in there. Where is it now? Yeah. Look, Mia, are UEFA treating Chelsea more favourably than the other sides over FFP breaches?
Yeah, I guess that it doesn't appear that they're getting as big as sanctions, are they? I suppose depending on what rules you break, how harshly they decide to be on you, like harsh to be on you. But yeah, they're Chelsea always seem to get away with stuff. Let's be honest, like they've done how many different things over the time, and they haven't really got sanctioned, have they? Let's be honest, not really.
But you know why? I think what's very much in Chelsea's favour is now on fair play. I have to say, I don't have much good to say about Todd Bowley, right? But he came in there, he went through the books, he saw irregularities which he didn't like the look of, and he reported them. which is, quite unusual for a guy that's just after buying a club to report that same club for financial irregularities. So, but it probably was done under the fact that the punishment is so low is because they came clean, whereas Juventus didn't.
I mean, he said, and also Stripbear said it was in Roman's time. Todd went to UEFA and paid for.
Yeah,
and
it was all under Roman's time. Yeah, it was all under Roman's time.
Fair play to Todd Boehly though. We do criticise and look, Stripbear. We've worked out you're a Chelsea fan, and welcome. We do have other fans in, don't we, Philip? And we love other fans coming in.
Yeah, we get some very good logical conversation with other fans, as well. So it's very good to get it.
Yeah, and of course, me, Philip, and Mia are going to do a Premier League show every Sunday evening where we're going to look over all the results, and me, Philip, and Mia are going to pick our Premier League team of the week. So we've got that starting, and I think that's...
FYI, it will never be Arsenal.
No. But we're going to start
top of the league by 12 points.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. We're going to start that next Sunday probably in the evening time, it may be Sunday or Monday. We may change it to Monday Newsbeat and change that into the Premier League because of Sunday night being busy.
Which not all the matches will have been played. There's a match on the Monday night as well, apparently. So all the games don't finish on Monday night.
That is what we've got planned. It's all the other fans that come in, Newcastle. So but look, it was Rome times. And big up to you, Stripbear, and I like other fans coming in. We can have great Colin, Man United fans always in the chat. He says, make it Chelsea then.
That might be a big ask.
We will not be bribed.
Listen, those two names don't come out of my mouth often unless I have to say them. So I would not be giving them props. Heck to no.
I hope Levy retires and moves to Bolivia soon. Jeremy Clarkson
building a
went
house
to
in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
is he?
Probably is. Yeah, he did. He did the Top Gear from Bolivia. Yeah, he went to Argentina and got them kicked out of it as well. I don't. If anyone watches his farm thing on Amazon, please do.
It's hilarious.
It is brilliant.
To be honest, on Top Gear, I don't know how they managed to survive some of the things that they did. They were crazy. They did some mental things.
You want to see them? Where did they go? They dropped them in the deserts of Mongolia. And they had to build their own car to get to one side of Mongolia. Oh, Jesus, Mia and Philip. It was the most funny. Derville loves watching the Grand Tour and all the Top Gear races and that. They're absolutely brilliant.
Do you know the worst one for me that I watched is when they went on that mountain and a car was coming and he had to go round. Oh my God. I know we obviously know they survived it, but watching it, I was having an absolute heart attack watching that. Oh my goodness.
That was when they went to Bolivia. It was
or the one where they go in the water and it was always James one that sunk.
Yeah.
It was always him that's going rescue. They weren't going to rescue him. They're going, no, just leave him. And his boat was sinking, his car boat.
I think that's when the condoms and the Vaseline came out. So we'll leave. You need to watch it. There is logic to what I just said. It is funny. The Premier, Philip's giggling in the corner like a little schoolboy there. He's like the fella at the back of the class chucking paper airplanes at everyone at the front. The Premier League clubs are always treated favourably. It's the size of the league and how much money's in it. And look, Philip, it is true though, isn't it? The Premier League is the biggest league in the world.
Yes, it is. Yeah. It is. It's the most popular league. I mean, it's the league that's watched more worldwide than any other league. Like you saw the amount of fans in Asia, Australia to watch it, Well, it wasn't. It really was the advent of Sky TV that brought it worldwide. Yeah. Because until satellite TV came along, there was no real way of watching soccer live. You see highlights, but you wouldn't see that much live games. So the satellites went up there.
What do you reckon to this one, Philip? Jay-Z and a consortium of 12 of the billionaires want Spurs.
Jay-Z, is that the guy that's married to the Kardashians?
No, that's the fellow that's married to Rihanna. No, not
Kanye
Rihanna.
West. Kanye West. Yeah, sorry.
Beyonce.
I keep mixing those rappers up. For anyone that's like, my musical taste, I would define rap as music with a capital C.
Yeah.
Work it out. Anyway, Jay-Z and a consortium of 12 other billionaires. Jeez, that sounds like a nightmare waiting to happen. How can you?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Yeah. Yeah.
Spurs for life. Lewis has a smashing spinner thanks to his billions. I hope at Philip you're using your billions on something good too.
Yeah, all right, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Wembley one. Do we know why Levy's meeting with Bayern didn't happen last week? Levy probably couldn't get a cheap enough seat on EasyJet. Well, they were coming over
No.
here, weren't they, Philip?
They had a private plane booked on Friday morning. It was cancelled Thursday night.
So yeah, so there you go. Look, Philip. Look, with the more about the FFP thing, right, and about UEFA as a whole. Nice. Do you know? Are UEFA? Do you remember we had the FIFA thing coming out with the Qatari World Cup, and we saw all the corruption there? Are UEFA just as corrupt as FIFA was? And is this FFP like a deck of cards that if one goes, the whole lot will collapse around them? Because it doesn't seem to be very fair. Each team seems to be treated differently. The bigger you are, team you are, the less you get treated. The smaller club you are, you get hammered.
Isn't that the way in life generally, though? To be honest with you,
Yeah.
You know, the rich will survive and the poor get downtrodden. That's probably the best way of putting it. UEFA is FIFA's little cousin, right? He's hanging on his coattails and learning the tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
So allegedly, they are as bad as FIFA are, and will be as bad as FIFA are. But that's only my opinion.
Yeah, Mia, do you think UEFA is as corrupt as FIFA, or do you think this is only the tip of the iceberg with this FFP thing?
Listen, they're all bloody corrupt. Allegedly. Let's just be honest. Allegedly, that's my opinion.
I'd love to know where all this fine money goes to. Good question.
It was going into it was going into the Michel Platini's back pocket, but he's not there anymore.
We know that, but what's happening to it now? Is it going into each of the directors driving around in a new Rolls Royce every 12 months?
Oh dear. But anyway, Angelo says here, guys, I love this. At Luton Town this season, VAL will be conducted from the old ladies' lounge room next door to the stadium.
Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah. Mia, look, it's great to see Luton Town back. We all remember them scenes back in the 80s, David Pleat running onto the pitch after Luton Town beat Man City. Man City got relegated and Luton Town survived. We all know that he's a massive fan of the RAC and the AA because he keeps breaking around dodgy corners in Luton, apparently. Are you glad to see a little club like Luton come back who dropped out the Football League, let's not remember, make it all the way back up to the Premier League? Do you think that's a bigger achievement than say like Brighton coming up or another teams like that coming up?
Yeah, I guess so, because because the way they had to work their way back up, like it wasn't the same thing. So Luton, it's good to see the little Luton back. The only thing that I'm concerned about is some of those shots that some of our lot do. They're gonna have to go get the ball from the ladies' garden. They're gonna be like, "Can we have our ball back, please?" Like, what we're gonna, that's not gonna be very good, is it? But yeah, it is good to see them back. I feel like they worked hard to get back into the Prem. So yeah, good luck to them when they come in. Obviously, it's good. Yeah. It's good
when they eventually get the games back. They can't play the first few games at home because of the ground improvements. Apparently,
Well, apparently the fella that has the house that the people have to walk through, apparently he's going to set up a little canteen selling cups of coffee and bovril and drinks at halftime. He's going to make an absolute fortune. Now, Spurs for life. I'm not going to bring up your two comments because I don't. I'm not bringing them up.
We're not getting involved in that. Absolutely not. And please don't bring up anything like that again because it's a waste of time. We're not going to mention it.
Yeah. No, we're not, and it's not worth it. Here, Philip, do you want to go through your team? This is the team you think that's going to start. Here.
And while I'm doing that, Dermot, I want to pay tribute just to the late great Sinead O'Connor, who died a couple of days ago and will be buried shortly. I just sent you a text there. Read it, and I dare you not to laugh. Right, Vicario, Emerson, Romero, Tanganga, Udoji, Basuma, Madison and Sarr in the midfield, and Cooley, Richarlison and Son. Now, I know Ben Davis played in the friendlies there. I think I don't want to see Dyer in the team, so I think Tanganga is probably the other option. I think the three in midfield might kind of not too bad. Basuma, Madison, and Sarr, and then I put Richarlison in because I don't think Kane's going to be here. Simple as that. And I would have the likes of Solomon on the bench, and some of our little other signings, or not signings, but young lads like Alfie Devine. I'd have him on the bench, and Fraser Foster as a backup goalkeeper. So that's my team. Dermot will no doubt give his, and me. I think you're going to put yours in as well, just to see what.
I was just going to say mine, as it's easier.
Yeah, go on, say it out there. Yeah.
I would go with Vicario, same. Emerson. Yeah, I think I would stick with Emerson. Romero. Hopefully, it isn't going to be Tanganga. Hopefully, it's going to be somebody else.
Hopefully, I should have said that. I hope that. Yeah.
Udogie, Basuma, Madison, and Sarr. That's interesting. I like Sarr, but I think he's probably going to go with. He might go with, if we keep Lo Celso, he might go with Lo Celso. But Lo Celso and Madison, I'm not sure we can play both. That's the thing. But I'm not totally averse to having that starting midfield, because I like Sarr. I really do. I would actually swap it about. I'd have Porro and Solomon with Richarlison. And because I think that Kulu, I feel like he really wasted his chances when he was playing the other day. And I think I'd rather have Porro in that position, and then I feel like that Solomon is so good. I feel like Solomon and Porro together would be really good on the wings because of their skill sets.
Yeah, fair enough. Although doesn't Solomon more or less prefer coming in off the left-hand side rather than the right? I'm sure he can do both, but it's just a thing that he's been coming in. He can do both, I'm sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure he can do both, or switch it up. Well, whatever way, but I would like to see that more, I think, than Kulu, because I feel like Kulu really, he just didn't do it for me. Like, he hasn't been that good. He's just wasteful, and I feel like we need to try something different, maybe on the wings.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get an idea from whatever plays against Shakhtar next weekend, and then Barcelona. I think the Barcelona lineup will probably be the one that starts against Brentford. I would imagine.
We haven't got much time, have we, between the two games? It's not a lot of time.
Tuesday and Sunday. Tuesday to Sunday, I think. Saturday, Shakhtar. Tuesday, Barcelona, and Sunday. So, he's back. Now, what's your team?
Sorry, I did put in the private chat why Philip. Sorry. So I did let you know. Right, now, did you go through your team?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I've gone through both.
Yeah, now, this is my team, guys. We've got Venom in goal, Emerson Romero, Davis Destiny, Basuma in the sort of
we're two or three players different than all of us, really.
Yeah.
We're we're agreed on most of them.
Yeah. Basuma, Madison, Lo Celso in the three, Kulu, Kane with a question mark, and Sonny up front. Now, Mia, what do you think to my starting 11 against Brentford?
Do you know what? I actually did say Basuma, Madison, Lo Celso, but I'm not sure if he'll do that because of I don't know if that would work, but I did say that could be a good possibility. I wouldn't play Kulu for the reason I just stated to Philip, which is I feel like he was quite wasteful. I would like to see either a Porro, or we could put Solomon on that side. Philip made a good point. I would like to see that more than I would Kulu, and I would play Richie because I don't think Kane's going to be here. So,
are we all agreed with the back four?
Not really.
If we don't get a centre back right in before the start of the season, which if we don't, it'd be criminal. But if we don't, who would you put with Romero? Now, I know you went with Tanganga, Philip.
Yeah.
Would you trust Tanganga more than Eric Dyer and Davis, or would you trust Davis more than Eric Dyer and Tanganga?
I trust Davis more than Dyer, but I just feel Tanganga is more of a natural centre back than Davis. That's the only reason I picked him. Yeah. Otherwise, it would have been Davis.
Yeah, I trust Davis more than Dyer and Tanganga more than Davies.
As you know, we're not even mentioning Sanchez. He's not even worth mentioning.
Who?
But anyway, that's who? Bambi on Ice. You know that fella, Bambi. He was the man that shot Bambi. Yeah. Anyway, that is me and Philip's time. But we are going to do a show with the week, probably a couple of days before, probably the podcast before the Premier League season, where you, me, Philip, Mia, Ellie, I think Dave and Jack can come on as well. We're going to give our Premier League predictions where the league is going to be before at the end of next season, which is going to be a lot of fun. We got Carl Simpson saying, I got my tickets for Luton away. It was ultimate tea and coffee. For some reason, it says that the seat is upstairs, bedroom at 15 Kenilworth Road.
Yeah. Oh,
bring your missus with you. There you go. Not that I know of. Just watching another podcast with sound on.
That's probably a reply to a question, I wonder.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's Real Madrid and Barcelona. Is it on TV anyway?
Yeah. It would need to be Dyer as he will be captain, but it isn't going to happen. We will get defenders. I think we will. I think
we will. Yeah.
How can you even type that? How can you type that he's going to be captain, Carl? Like, does that not? That's no. Why? Just why?
Big up Drew. Let's strip bare. Is it on anywhere? And he's saying, yeah, it's on Talk Football HD. Do you tin legs, Tony? Do you all prefer a 4-3-3? I would rather play a 4-2-3-1 with a double pivot, Basuma and Højbjerg in the 6, Madison 10 Cam. Now, Philip, look, if we bring the teams back up, right, we'll do your team because it's. I want to go near enough. With Kane not being there, so go with this. Now, when I set this up, I set it up with a 4-3-3, Philip. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with Tin Legs Tony with a 4-2-3-1 with Basuma and Højbjerg in the 6 and Madison in the cam role?
Yeah, well, providing Højbjerg's still here, which doesn't look like he will be, but yeah. And I'm also thinking that if Højbjerg goes, it's very possible someone like Frank Kessie could be in the reckoning. In which case, then I put him in instead of Sarr for the time being. Yeah. Anyway. You know?
Well, the news I've got on that. Do you want me to read out what you put in there, Philip? Or
yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
Okay. Well, this is to go with Sinead O'Connor. Sinead refusing to go on to the Piers Morgan show.
Just don't read that out, Dermot. No, please don't. That was for you.
Okay.
That was for you.
Oh, okay.
I'll talk to you about it later. We definitely get taken off the air if you read that out.
Probably be on the Piers. What's his name again? Piers Morgan show.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant what she said, but it's too rude.
Did you see that Tottenham YouTube channel slagging me off? Who did they think? We put Mia on as our representative. Mia shouting down.
Oh, I would love to take on Piers Morgan because I tell you what, some of the things he says are so just ridiculous. I swear. But then he does have a go at people that I'm on that side as well with him. It's a bit difficult with him, but he is as one of them supporters. So I'm going to have to obviously disagree with everything he says just for that reason.
Now, guys, we've got a bit of transfer news, a bit of Spurs news here. It's expected Tottenham Hotspur will reach agreement with Atletico Madrid for the transfer of Højbjerg. Postecoglou is preparing to let Højbjerg leave as he's aiming to regenerate the midfield and foster a more creative style. Who wants to go first in this, Mia or you, Philip? Who wants to take this one?
Mia go first on that one.
Go on, Mia.
Yeah, if we get a decent fee, then it's all good. If we can get some money then to replace him with someone who's more suited to Andrew's style, then I think that's fine. But I do wonder if we've maybe got it in it's really difficult because really we don't know what Sarr is and we don't really know what Basuma is because both of them don't really seem to be either. They're not like a 6 or an 8, I don't think yet. And it's hard to know. But yeah, if we get him to go, I think we will get a replacement with that money, definitely.
Yeah. Do you do fan calling shows? It's something that we're looking into, but we don't know yet. We haven't discussed what we're going to do on that yet. But it's something we might do. But these podcasts can be more for members as the season goes on. So we'll wait and see. And I want to say big up also to FTSM column, full-time Spurs network.com. Please go over there, like and subscribe as well. Please, everyone, go over there to Mia's channel as well, Spurs Between the Lines as well. Philip, look, I'm a big Horbier fan. I would be really sad if he went, right? But does he need to go for Ange to fulfill his system at Tottenham?
It looks that way. I mean, it's been sort of flagged since Ange took over that Højbjerg would not suit the system, and it's looking to me as if Ange agrees with that and is now trying to offload him. And I think, okay, we're all, well, most of us, I think, would be kind of sorry to see him go because he was such a good servant for Tottenham in the time he was there. Like, he played nearly every game. But I like the look of the replacement they're lining up for him. Is Frank Kessie from Barcelona. And I think he is an upgrade. He's on PAH. So it'll be a luxury signing if we get him. It doesn't fill the fullback or the centre back problem, but it actually brings a really, really, really good defensive midfielder for the lot of games that are coming. The fact that we haven't got Bentancur back for a few months, Basuma could get injured, then we're really snookered if PAH goes and we don't have a replacement for him.
Another bit of news here. Tottenham want a buyback clause in the Kane sale, and I'll watch and discuss Mathis Tale. Now, Philip, we discussed this last night, didn't we, Mathis Tale? You're somebody who wants him at the club very much. You think he's a great thing coming up.
I think Daniel Levy could really put the gun to Bayern Munich's head on this one. And so they said, right, lads, you can have Harry Kane for 75 million, but we want this guy in part exchange. And he's only 18 or 19, but apparently he's one for the future. But Thomas Tuchel does not want to lose him. So this is going to test Barcelona's resolve if Levy does that tactic.
Yeah.
You know, do they want Kane more than they want to keep this fella? So it could be very interesting to see what's what. And I hope that Daniel plays hardball with them on it.
It will be. And Mia, look, do you think a buyback clause for Kane is actually a good idea?
I don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to be honest and say I think every fan would love for him to finish at our club, obviously. But I just think by the time he's the age that he's going to be when he does come back, depending on what manager we got, is it going to be is he going to come in and be all right to suit maybe if we are still playing that high intensity type of football when he is that little bit older. Now, I understand it's everybody's dream, and of course, everybody wants him to finish at Tottenham, but I just wonder if it is feasible, is what I would say. And that's not me saying I don't want it to happen. I'm just trying to be realistic.
Well, look, I want to read a bit more, Philip, very quickly about this Jay-Z thing, because I've actually found the article. It's from the Daily Express US, and it says Jay-Z plots and Tottenham takeover bid as he eyes Premier League chance. And the first few lines of it, Philip, it will make you laugh. Exclusive, right? Tottenham Hotspur have been plunged into uncertainty by the news of owner Joe Lewis facing charges of insider training. Well, look, let's get this straight here. Joe Lewis doesn't own Tottenham Hotspur. For crying out bloody loud.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story, huh?
I mean, Mia, come on. I mean, I know it. You know it. Philip knows it. The blind man down the road knows it. Maggie Thatcher even knows it, and she's been dead for years. Even though bitch.
Dermot, did you read the alternative part of it that's in the Sun?
I know. But the point is, I did.
You see the price they put on it?
Yeah.
2.2 billion. Daniel Levy must be pissing himself at the minute laughing.
But Mia, how come people don't get the story straight? So, I mean, they've got the US, Joe Lewis owns Tottenham. Are they so far behind everyone?
But do you know what? Everything I've heard has been stating that as a fact as well, Dermot. I've not heard anywhere where it hasn't. Even in the UK press, they've said the same, to be honest. So,
Jay-Z is worth 1.95 billion and his wife's worth 400 million. That's 2.3 billion. So he needs people coming in with him big time. if that's the case.
Someone said Joe Lewis is 99 years old. He fucking looks well
he's
for
not.
99.
He's
Right?
86.
Can we just make it clear? All right, make this very, very clear. So open your ears, everyone. Sit down. This is Philip Brady story time. Philip, will you please tell them who owns Tottenham Hotspur?
In October 2022, Joe Lewis handed over control of Tottenham Hotspur and ENIC, and I don't know what other companies. He owns a load of other things as well. He put it into a family trust, which has been overseen by 2 lawyers in the Bahamas, as far as I know. And is either his daughter or his granddaughter will have some say in the running of the administrating of the club. But Joe Lewis, the Premier League have declared, since this thing came out on Wednesday or Thursday, that Spurs are in no danger of sanctions because Joe Lewis, according to their records, which are up to date, is not a beneficial owner of Tottenham Hotspur. So Daily Express, son, get your facts right before you make fools of yourself. Thank you. End of story.
Yeah, and please, that was to the US, Daily Express US, we'd like to add.
Yeah.
So will you be sending them a private Facebook message, Philip, after this show?
No, I don't think so. I
want me to
got
send
no
you the
response
report?
from the last one anyway. I got no response from the last one, so no point in trying.
Did you
again,
see what he did last week, Mia? Did you hear what he did?
Who?
Philip.
Oh, yeah, he sent the letter, didn't they, to the guy with the shirt.
Did he ever read it?
I don't know. No, I'll tell you why, because it was sent as a messenger. It was sent as Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
So I don't know whether he saw it or not. I think he did, actually. I think he did. His little face comes up on the bottom, but he didn't reply.
Yeah. Colin saying, you're all wrong. I own Tottenham Hotspur. Insists the That's not an evil. Mia, can you do an evil laugh?
No, I'm not going to do one.
No. There you go. There you go. Philip has already got the standard email on his screen as we speak.
No, Joe, what Philip's got like a template of it one. So anytime he could just insert like person's name and then just send it off.
Oh, this is funny. Adrian Tucker says Joe Lewis had his lawyers in the Bahamas put ENIC into a family trust a year ago. The family are beneficiaries, but Lewis has stepped aside. I know. It's a valid. It is a valid discussion about Joe Lewis, in my opinion. There has been no official statement by the club that the owner changed. I know it's been in the media and all. It is, Philip.
It was back in October. It was mentioned. We knew about this last October.
But it needs a bit of digging around. It's a show we probably will do, probably in the next debate show next week, Philip. It's something we actually may debate this. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing that did come out is the Premier League came out and said it. Yeah. They said that they're satisfied that he doesn't actually own the club, or he has got no involvement with the club. So the fact that Premier League has come out, I suppose, there's that validation in that. I don't know. I can't tell you, but yeah.
Yeah, we've got David Pincus. He says, ENIC owned THFC amongst other entitles. Joe Lewis put his shares of ENIC into a family trust, which he has nothing to do with.
Whenever the ownership changed last October, Company's House or the company's registration office in London would have been informed of the change. So it is all official on both boards. Otherwise, the Premier League would not have been able to verify that details.
Yeah, that's true. Now, guys, we have here, what we've got here, I've forgotten. Yeah, now, this is from a person, Philip, told me about. I didn't read the article. I did read it afterwards. Let me find the banner for it, Philip. Now, should we listen to Norman Geller? Now, this is about, this is all about the toxic atmosphere within the fan base. And people not being allowed to have an opinion. If you do have an opinion, you're talked down to. And if you're not a part of a certain part of the fan base. Now, we've all had it. All three of us here have had it. Have had our own sort of people having a go at us, calling us Levy lovers, Levy inners, and all this. And me and Mia are part of that club. I mean, Carl Simpson's gone out to dinner with Levy, which me and Mia cannot fathom how we would never ask, but Carl Simpson got ahead of us. I've got the mug with Levy on it, and we're all paid by Tottenham Hotspur, apparently, by some people. I wish that was true. But Philip, does he make a very, very good point here that all those moaners and groaners who spend much time in a knocking Spurs, please take the time out to watch the football Tottenham play when at the peak form. Stealth the negativity and get behind Ange and the boys, not in their way. I agree with that.
I should explain. Some people may not know who Norman Giller is. Norman Giller, back in the 60s, was one of the leading sports journalists. He worked for the Daily Express and the Sunday Express. He covered all the First Division and the soccer games at that stage. At that stage, he could never declare who he supported because he had to be impartial, right? But once he retired, he nailed it. He said he'd been a lifelong Tottenham supporter. He has written numerous books about the club. I've got a couple of them. He's a really, really good writer. He also wrote a book about Muhammad Ali as well, Dermot. So he's into boxing as well as soccer.
Yeah.
And he's written a book about Jimmy Greaves, written a book about the 1967 Cup winning team. Great stuff, you can get them. Norman Giller is a highly respected Spurs fan. And I always take to heart what he says. And he says that with a heart and a half. You can all have your opinion, but please, we haven't played a league match yet. And yet the what you call it, I don't know, I'm trying to search for a word here. The negativity.
The Ange Out Brigade.
The Ange Out Brigade, before we play the league match, has got to be the most ridiculous thing on earth. Okay, if we're bottom of the league in December, there'll probably be an awful lot more people joining that club. But at the minute, we're equal top of the Premiership with everybody else. We haven't played a match. So let's give the team a chance. And if you've got a problem with Levy in the boardroom, park that to one side. That's fair enough. You're all entitled to your opinion. We all have our opinions on Daniel Levy. But do not include the team in the negativity until you've actually seen them play next season or this season coming. So,
do you know what, Mia? There's nothing really to add what Philip said, really, is there? I think he said what you and me would have both said as well, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I'm all for everybody having their opinions, but I think that you can support the team and the manager and still disagree with the ownership. You know, like you can have both. Like you don't have to aim your negativity towards the team and the manager. And I know that it gets a bit mixed up because obviously if we don't get the players, there's that whole, well, he wasn't backed, and that is obviously down to the ownership. So I get it, and it is hard sometimes to separate the two. But when that whistle goes, I feel like we should all back the boys and back Ange.
Yeah, I do too. If you are enjoying this, please hit the like button and subscription button. If you want to get a membership, it will help us grow. And also the chat is open, so you can put it into a super chat. It does help. We've got David Clark said, I'm reading Norman Geller's book, 70 Years of Spurs. It's a great read.
Yeah. There's a load of books out about Spurs, and he sells them privately himself. You look up normangiller.com, you can go in and buy books from him because he really writes some good stuff.
Tequila saying, Ange Out stuff is stupid, but if you think the team is bad, you should be allowed to think and say that.
Yeah, but give him a chance to play matches first.
Yeah.
Tequila, while I agree with you, I think to say it before we've even kicked a ball in a Premier League game is just like unnecessary. I understand if we play bad, of course we're going to say we didn't play well, but I think it's just the over-the-top negativity that goes on before a ball's even been kicked. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, I think so. Colin says, I have Daniel sat next to me right now. He wanted me to remind you to push the promo statement for your next lot of payment, Dermo. Oh, okay. I'll get Philip to do that tomorrow. And then Carl saying, Levy told me of a candlelight dinner, Mia. Tonight. They're having a candlelight dinner, him and Levy. I wonder if Carl's saying to him, but can you read that out? Sorry, Philip. I was looking at another comment.
Levy told me over a candlelight dinner tonight. We will have 2 defenders in by Wednesday. Here we goes on Monday. You can clip that, people. The here we goes are when we've signed somebody. So
do you know what? I reckon he was trying to do, Carl. He was trying to sweeten you up to get you into the bedroom. That's why whispering sweet nothings about centre backs in your ear.
That there, David
Lovely
Clark,
weather we're having
first
around
game.
here, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go.
5-7.
David Clark, first game.
That'd be a good start, wouldn't it? That'd be a good start. Yeah.
Yeah, would I take that?
And we come from 5-0 down to win it.
Yeah. Patrick Simmons, big up. I'm not going to bring up that comment. I don't want to get involved in any political YouTube stuff. I know the person you're talking about, and I think he's actually some of the stuff he does is good, but I'm not getting involved. But big up, and if you put in another comment that we can bring up, we will. But I'm not bringing up. Have you read it, Philip?
Yeah,
Yeah. Is that fair enough?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not good because then that just starts other problems. So I'm not sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. Where are we going next, Philip? Where was the next bit? Now,
top of the league.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was it. One thing, salaries. Now we know. Look, this was Harry Kane's last contract signature. The 1st of December 2020 signed a 6-year deal, $31.2 million contract extension at Tottenham Hotspur. And then on 2018, Philip, he signed a 62.4 million contract extension over 6 years, was then,
that's $10 million a year, $11 million.
$10 million a year. Now, we got people like Lloris on 100 grand. Harry Kane's on 200 grand a week. So is Dombele. Son's on 192,000. Perisic 178. So if you got the red Philip of right, Perisic on 178.
Yeah, I'm just getting a pen here to tot all this up actually because we can see what we can say. Hang on, we'll get a pen.
Yeah. Do you know me? Do we need to get the players like Dombele, Luis, Eric Dyer, Ben Davies off our books to actually release some more money for us to buy players and give them proper salaries?
I think there is something to be said for having so many players' wages on our books. I suppose there's definitely an issue because
I've got one of my grandkids' crayons. Will do.
To have someone's wages still on the books, and then to try and get like other players in does make it a bit tricky. But I don't think it should be a problem because if we know we're going to get them out, but the issue is if we can't get them out, then obviously that means we're going to have their wages still on our books. So I kind of understand.
Right.
What were the figures there, Dermot? Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Harry Kane's on 200 grand a week.
Yeah.
Dombele's on the same.
Yeah.
Perisic 178.
Yeah.
Højbjerg 101,000. Luis 100 grand.
Yeah.
Eric Dyer 85.
Yeah.
Ben Davies 80.
Yeah.
Lo Celso 70. And then Sanchez 65 and Segi is on 50. Yeah, 57,000 pound a week.
Okay, that's it.
And Joe Rodon's only on. I tell you what, he's only on 9 grand a week. Joe Rodon.
Oh.
Tantanga's on more than him. Papa Sar's only on 20 grand a week.
Funny, I read Rodon was on 15 grand a week, but maybe got an increase, Anyway, that is 1.14 million per week.
Yeah.
So that's 50 million a year, saving off the 55 million a year, saving off the wage bill. Okay, the players that come in, they're going to replace that money. Probably won't end up saving too much, but at least they'll be gone,
Yeah. Dragon Dot says, make sure Philip, make sure you stay in the lines because you've got your kids.
I'm using one of my grandkids' crayons.
Yeah, that's what he meant by staying. Make sure you stay in the lines now, Philip. Adrian's asking, how's the poll doing? I actually totally forgot about the poll, but I'll tell you what. Now I will tell you now. Will Harry Kane still be at Spurs by the end of next week? In last place is he'll never leave Spurs at 6%. Also joining them in last place is Ange's locked him in his office at 6%. No, he be off 52%. And in second place, yes, he will 37%.
So 52% is going, 37% is staying.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Now,
I suppose that's about right. Well, I think the eyes have it. The leaves have it. Really, I think that's everybody's becoming more or less resigned to the fact. I think that he will be going.
Yeah, just want to go through some of these comments, Philip, and then we'll let Mia plug her channel. and then we will go on. That's how the poll is. We've got David Clark saying Skip's on at 15 grand a week. I think he is something around about David. I think you're right. The clue there is beneficial owner. He may well be the legal owner. Well, Howard, we don't know, but it's something me and Philip are going to dig into in the next couple of days.
The FA are convinced, are happy that he's not any ownership in any shape or form. So I think we have to take that as being the right way.
Okay. Yeah. David Pinker says, we need to be a united fan base. However, if you moan and groan about the club, then take some form of action against leaving the board. Moaners are part of the problem, not the solution. You can't really grumble at that, can you?
No, that's a fair point.
But
fair point. And there's lots of moaning and groaning. There's lots of moaning and groaning about
it. What the thing is, though, it's about everybody's got the right to do that in their own way. That's the thing, because everybody wants to do it maybe slightly different or don't agree on how they should do that. And I feel like that's where it's kind of divided, because some people want to do protesting, some people want to not go games and protest, some people want to go games and protest, some people want to do the balloons and protest. Some people want to not buy any, like put into the club, by that's their way of protesting. Do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's so many different ways of doing it, and I feel like we should always accept everyone's way of showing their discontent, basically.
Colin Turner says, just watch The Lane on Spurs Place, brought back so many memories as an 8-year-old upwards and gave me a lump in my throat and a tear in my eye, especially seeing my hero in the wheelchair. I know I miss White Hart Lane very, very much. We'll finish up on that comment, Philip, so I'll come back to you on that. Eltel Cockeral, evening, Dermot, Philip and Mia. Colin saying, Kane deal will probably be done next Friday or next weekend. If you know, you know. And he's saying, Eltel Cockeral, Mia, I hope you're feeling better.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, can I just say, Mia is probably one of the nicest people on YouTube, and I know Philip would back me up on that.
Absolutely.
She does a great channel with great content. And please, everyone, let's get Mia to 1,000 before the start of the season. Let's get, because that channel deserves to have 1,000 subs on it. Big up, and Mia, it really is a fantastic channel. Give me 2 minutes. I'll let you plug your channel in a minute.
Yeah, no
and we'll just go through this chat. Yeah, Colin saying, let's keep the chat. Yeah, Patrick Simmons, look, if you come in for an argument, look, I am going to put you on the timeout now because I've tried to be fair. But no, so you are now on the timeout now for 5 minutes. Go and sit in the naughty step and behave yourself. Absolutely, Mia. That's it. Absolutely, Mia. But that it is taking action. Just do something. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. Angelo saying fan base should protest by filling the stadium every 2 weeks. That will show.
But this is what I'm saying. Everybody protests differently, because sometimes people, Angelo, go into the stadium and they do the chants and the balloons, and that's their way of protesting. So that's the thing, isn't it?
David Clark says the two lawyers who have control of Joe Lewis Trust took over financial control are Brian Gilton and Katie Booth. So there you go.
They're probably the only two lawyers in the States that Donald Trump hasn't used yet.
Yeah. And then Adrian said, David Clark, true, mate. Dragon D Nuts, I probably agree with you, but we don't know. We cannot confirm or we cannot deny that question. I'm sorry, we cannot confirm or deny. That's what the FBI say, isn't it, Philip? You cannot confirm.
Yeah, that's right.
I can neither confirm or deny that thing. Philip, look, I asked you a question last. Oh, yeah. This one here. We're going to end up with this, guys. Galatasaray bid 8 million for Spurs midfielder. Payable over 4 years. Bid instantly rejected. Philip, you found this bit of news. Do you want to explain to people what it's about?
The midfielder is Tanguy Ndombele. And the Galatasaray have bid 8 million for him, payable 4 installments, 2 million each. And the club instantly rejected it. So that's really all there is to know about that. They may come back with a higher bid, but I mean, they want to be considerably higher. You know, although I would like to see. It looks to me as if Ndombele is not part of the plans for next season. So we need to get some money for him, but 8 million's a bit short now. What we need.
Yeah. Colin Turner says Joe Lewis obviously knew that what was coming. by handing it over to the trustees. The race structure, I
Yeah.
assume, is normal. Some 9 huge money, some are not as big. So good luck to them. For me, it's about Spurs. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's always been. And Mia, personally, for me and Philip, it's great to see you back on YouTube. Great to have you back on the podcast with us here. As I say, you do a wonderful channel with great content. And everyone, please, let's get Mia up to 1,000 subs before the start of the season. Where can people find you, Mia? And please tell people about your channel.
Yeah, I'm over at Spurs Twin Lines. If you want to come and subscribe, come and subscribe.
There you go. Short,
Yeah.
simple,
Short and sweet.
and absolutely to the point. Mr. Brady, last few things. Bid for our Deadwood shows how skint European clubs are after affected COVID. And Philip, that's a very good point.
That's true.
That's a very good point.
Good
Colin
point.
says United pulled out the Kane deal. Harry wanted 575,000 a week.
Jesus Christ. That's where the 30 million a year came out of.
Yeah. Levy wanted to get Tubsoba 10 million over 5 years. so.
Wishful thinking there.
And David Clark says these two lawyers both live in the
Oh,
Bahamas.
yeah. I'm sure they did. I was being flippant there about the Trump lawyers, but yeah.
But anyway, but listen, thanks for coming on, guys. It's been a great show. I've really enjoyed the latest part of this podcast. Now, we've had a slight problem with putting them up Spotify. I am going to sort this out over the weekend. So this is now effectively the Cockeral Clock podcast episode 1, which will be going up on Spotify in the next few days. And then Philip, we'll search it out. That we'll add the THFC Till I Die music playlist we got in there. We'll add them on to the same channel, the same Spotify channel. Okay. So we'll start that up in the next few days. Mia, thank you for coming on again. It's always a pleasure having you on. Really enjoyed your company. Philip, as always, thank you very much. We're off tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're not on tomorrow. We're having a day off tomorrow.
All Ireland final tomorrow, Dublin versus Kerry.
Are you going to it?
No. I probably could have got a ticket, but no, I didn't bother. I've been in Dublin off and off this last couple of weeks.
And there is Mia's link. Carl Simpson, if everyone loves the Cockeral Cock, oh, for fuck's sake.
Well done, Carl.
And we know how much Dermot likes a Cockeral cock.
Yeah, very much. I love one for dinner.
Oh.
There you go. Great Saturday night show, guys and girls. Cheers. Big up Wembley one. And Philip, look, I wouldn't bet on being off Dermot, whatever that means. I don't know, God. But Philip, we'll always end with Fred.
Yeah.
And look, we're going to leave it to Mia. Mia, you're. It's great to have you back with us on here. What do you think Fred's up to today? We always end up with this. So go on, let you finish it off.
I think Fred's going to be. This is Fred when he sees who we've got as our centre backs for the starting lineup for the first game of the season.
When he hears Eric Dyer's start.
And Eric Dyer's the captain.
Oh dear.
You get double Fred tonight.
They got the glass replaced quickly, didn't they?
Dragon says every time. I mean, Shamu sent me that during the World Cup, and I've loved it. And a poll as well. He said Mia. Carl said that is Daniel Levy, and I said I'm not letting him go to third base after dinner unless we get the friend.
dear.
I want to know who paid for the dinner, Carl. Did he make you go halves?
And can I just say, on that massive bombshell, good
Quick,
night.
before we get shut down.
Under that bombshell, thank you all for watching. It's been a great podcast as always. Mr. Harris will be joining us next week. And Mia will be on this week, hopefully, with us doing a few shows as well. Philip, thank you. Mia, thank you. Wherever you do, enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Come on, you Spurs. In Ange we trust.